Okay, I think this is working. I'm like 99.9% sure that this is working. It may not be. I don't know. Where is my water bottle? That is a walk. Gonna just pull up my chat and then we're good to go. We're good to go. I don't know if I'll be doing a lot of these, but I would like to. Going to give time for people to come. I am going to put this on and start truly discussing everything that's gone down in the world of gaming recently. Okay, let me paste the linkity link here and momentarily. Wow, Twitter's horrendous. Twitter can be quite useless, I'm not gonna lie. Live stream. Let's discuss the leaks on Resident Evil and Game Awards. YouTube is a weird place to stream because it's like it doesn't exactly say like, yo, your friend is streaming. You may want to go watch your friend. You have to do a bunch of odd things to make it work. And that can be both annoying and both not annoying. It just all depends. Hero, Zachary, hero. So, from what I've noticed with a lot of these leaks for the Game Awards and Resident Evil, a lot of them kind of are not exactly things that we would have not guessed. For example, what's it called? Crash Bandicoot is getting a new game. We know that. That has been leaked. Everyone is getting those cool, like, great big, like, what are they called? The toys with the Senna hat. A lot of Crash Bandicoot YouTubers and bigger, like, gaming YouTubers, I guess, and as well as streamers are getting those. So that's kind of cool. I don't usually do these kinds of things live. Normally, when I talk about leaks or gaming news or something, it's almost always on the form of a video. So I have like a huge script in front of me, but I don't. I'm gonna grab at the same time, just like sitting here talking live. Because like if I'm going live, usually playing a game or something, right there. If you were wondering, I'm actually working on a script for my top games of the decade, which is kind of cool actually, when you really look at what this decade has done and what this decade has brought out in the world of gaming. So it's crazy, but this decade has been pretty good for gaming. Like, I don't have many complaints. I mean, I do have my own complaints for this decade, but for the most part, this decade, at least every year, has had something good. Where last decade, from like 2000 to 2009, it was hit or miss whether or not we were going to have good games. There was a lot of games that came out. Like 2000 to 2005, there was like maybe one or two good games a year. 2006 had like everything. 2007, 2008, kind of hit or miss. Then 2009 was boom. 2009 had literally everything. There was no such thing as a bad game in 2009. Hello, really nerdy gaming. There's just so much that this decade has brought, and these leaks for Resident Evil and the Game Awards, going back on topic, it's really quite interesting. I'm gonna look back up the rest of the leaks on my old phone, which actually no, I'm not, because it's about to die. Um, Actually, I just put it on charge. For those of you that aren't in my Discord that are watching, you miss Sly. I do too. There's actually leaks about Sly that we'll be discussing in this because of the Game Awards. For those of you that do not know, I actually speak Japanese, so I have a second phone dedicated to just the Japanese App Store and Japanese exclusive apps and stuff. So that's pretty cool. But for the most part, let me go to the Game Awards here. Game Award leaks at this. There was one massive one that had some things that are kind of like a troll, and then other things that are like probably actually quite real, such as the Resident Evil thing, which we already know because that's been leaked like 50 billion times in the last month. But that still isn't stopping from new, exciting leaks happening. For example, people are saying there's gonna. I wonder what has been going on with the Sly movie. There's actually something I do kind of know about that I saw that we can talk about that in a segundo. Blah, blah, blah. Wow, it's not. It's literally just a link to a video. IGN, you're useless. Um, what was I gonna say? Basically, the rumors going around now is that Sly Cooper is going to have a new game or something announced at the Game Awards. I don't think it's gonna be a new game, so to say. I think it's highly, highly likely that it's going to maybe be Sly being announced for Smash, or maybe there's going to be like some kind of PS5 trailer or something to be like, hey, this day in February, we're going to be finding out about the new PlayStation, all the details, price, launch date, all that kind of stuff. And maybe, just maybe, they'll do like some kind of Sly Cooper thing in there. Or maybe it'll be like Ratchet and Clank or something like that. But the Sly Cooper movie, there is something that are going on with that right now that I do know for a fact. So PlayStation shut down their View Studio. Their View Studio shuts down officially at the end of December, if I remember correctly. And because of that, they are kind of shutting down like every project that PlayStation was working on as far as film and television goes, which does suck a lot because I was kind of hoping for that uh what's it called? Sly Cooper movie. See, that's the bad part about streaming live. You forget what you're talking about 99.99% of the time. But I'm pretty sure the Sly movie is gonna be canceled, at least in the near future. If it isn't, that's gonna be kind of shocking to me because Sly Cooper, yes, it's so big and it's so popular, but PlayStation is not the best place to own the rights to that. You see, PlayStation are interested in two things: God of War and God of War. That is literally it. If you are an old PlayStation title and your name is not God of War, you are going to have a bad time. You are going to have a very, very bad time. So, with that alone, that Sly is probably super dead. It's probably not realistic to hope that we'll get a new Sly Cooper, sadly. But there could be a new remake of some kind. That is something that a lot of places in the background are talking about. So if you've like paid super attention to this generation, every year is the game of the year is a remake. For example, this year the game of the year hands down is Resident Evil 2. 2017, Shadow of the Colossus, which I'm actually going to stream as soon as this stream is over. I'm going to stream that on Twitch through the PlayStation, which I've not done that in a long time, so I don't know exactly how that's going to pan out. But on my Twitch, which I think is in my description now, yeah, it's in the description of the video. That is where I'll be streaming Shadow of the Colossus. I've actually been trying to stream like everything on Twitch. It's hard to stream everything on Twitch because Twitch does require so much to do, and I hate wearing headsets because you gotta pull your hair back like this. It just feels odd. You look odd. For me, I look like I don't know. I look like I'm going crazy when I wear the headsets because my hair is so big and poofy. But Twitch streaming has been quite fun. I won't lie. I really enjoyed doing that. And I think going into 2020, which is crazy to say, YouTube stream. Yes, YouTube stream. Very rare YouTube stream. Going into 2020, I am going to try to stream every single game I play on Twitch. I've been doing that for the last probably 4 or 5 days. I've been doing it since I think Thursday. Thursday night, I think, was the first night I did it. So it's been a couple days doing that. And next year, having so many games, that's going to be so insane trying to do. The only one I know I will not stream live is Cyberpunk 2077, because that's a game, at least for the first time, that I want to experience alone. That game I probably won't stream, but everything else I probably will stream. But back to the Resident Evil leaks, which is kind of what I wanted to talk about. So there was a brand new leak last night or early this morning, depending on your time zone. And because of this leak, we kind of know that the game is not coming out in March. A lot of places were saying March, 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 March. But a prominent Resident Evil leaker, his name is Evil VR, he said that he has an insider or something like that that has confirmed to him that Resident Evil 3 Remake is not coming out in March. It is being announced next week, that much we do know, but it's not coming out in March, which leads us to the point where Resident Evil 3 Remake is probably more than likely a June release date, which is really cool because let me grab the paper. It's gonna slide on back to the waltz or whatever it's called. And now I'm coming back. I'm coming back. So this is actually a medical form that I print out for my school for when I don't want to go. I just fill it out. It's like, hey, I was sick, but no, I was not actually sick. Anyways, on the back of this, put that upside down. There is the Aztec alphabet system. And the Aztec alphabet system, if it's not blurry, it looks fine on my end. I don't know if it's actually fine on the stream itself because I don't really stream from iPhones. Um, it is, what's it called? What's it called? It's the Aztec writing system. And these two, this first one, that's a 6. That's a 2. That's a 0. June 2020 or June 2nd. It could be either one of those. So I have a really, really high, like, anticipation, I guess you could say. Or, not an anticipation, but a, what's it called? Prediction. I have a high prediction that Resident Evil 3 Remake is coming out in June. If it doesn't come out in June, I'm perfectly fine with that. But I would love it to come out in June, like super hardcore love Resi to come out in June. Because if it comes out in June, then that's going to mean non-stop streams of it. Resident Evil 3 Remake for me will originally be streamed on the PlayStation 4 because I will get the collector's edition on PlayStation. And then as soon as I complete the collector's edition on, or not the collector's edition, the deluxe edition on PlayStation 4, it'll be straight into the good old PC world for that game. Once that is full on PC streaming, I will. Oh my gosh, I don't even know. Like, so on Resident 3 Remake, like everyone and their mother is pretty much agreement that Resident Evil 3 is a better game, which is kind of odd, but pretty much everybody is in agreement that 3 is the better game between this whole YouTube. Streaming from an iPhone is not the best thing I probably could have done. I probably should have just done this on my computer. Yeah, most people are in Resident Evil 3 live on Twitch. I will be using that. I will unbox it. Actually, I'll probably unbox it live on YouTube because that might be easier than trying to stream it through a webcam, so to say. And I actually am gonna do something real quick to try to fix this connection. I'm gonna turn off my computer. I don't really need this thing on, so to say, because I have pretty much done everything I need to do on it for today. So I am coming right back up, and basically, from what I can gather, people are gonna like Resident Evil 3 Remake a lot better than Resident Evil 1 Remake, or Resident Evil 2 and 1, actually. It'll be just more enjoyable to everybody, I believe. And when you kind of look at it from that standpoint, you can kind of see why it's going to end up just a tad bit more replayable, I guess you could say. And between Carlos and Jill and all these special mercenary modes that I'm hoping get brought into it, if not, I'll settle for the ones they had in Resident Evil 2 Remake, and which would probably make more sense because of how Resident Evil 3 was way back when. I would enjoy all of that, to be honest. And not only that, there's some more like wild rumors that the DLC for Resident Evil 2 that is supposedly actually something. I don't know if it's something. It could be, it could not be. A lot of people are saying that that's going to be DLC for Resident Evil 2 to show what's it called? What's it called? I always forget it. Code Veronica, to show Code Veronica. That's what a lot of people are saying. The DLC for that is going to be. There's obviously nothing that says that's going to be that besides the leaked Steam trophy. But this is just a Steam trophy, that could mean anything. That could mean literally anything. So there's a lot to consider going into the Game Awards and the State of Play next week. Next week, I want to stream the State of Play. If I stream the State of Play, that will be on YouTube. But I don't know at the same time because I don't really stream that much on YouTube anymore. And I don't want to try to balance between streaming on YouTube and Twitch and YouTube. What I would like to do is kind of get in a schedule of streaming. Like, obviously, stream all my games on Twitch, but then have like a weekly discussion on like Sunday afternoon here on YouTube, like we're doing right now. And why is my chat not holding up? Okay, that was dumb YouTube. That's kind of what I would like to do because a live chat on Sunday afternoon on YouTube to kind of end out the work week or start the work week, I would say, would probably be a little bit better because streaming Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, video game wise, that'll probably take up about 10 to 15 hours of stream time a week. And then if I'm streaming here for like, 30 minutes, an hour, just talking, enjoying the life of the stream, just having a fun time. This is probably something that would, I'm going to stop playing with that pin for now. It's probably something that would be much more enjoyable for everybody because you can do a lot more. You can do a lot more. I do wonder when it comes to some of this stuff though, like, will streaming ever actually, like, real life become something that I'm actually doing prevalently? I would like it to be honest, because with all these leaks for these games, it's hard to make video after video after video after video after video after video to make these leaks because or to cover the leaks. So it would be nice to be able to get into an actual stream like newsman type cast because if Resident Evil like super rough trying to keep up with everything that's going on, so I'm gonna have to like figure out something. And if I can get myself into being able to talk good for live streams and be able to have them, I guess you could say kind of perfect, like kind of like it would be with a video, that would be really awesome. I do know though, with Resident Evil 3, it's gonna be different than Resident Evil 2 on the way I'm going to cover it on the channel. So I'm going to definitely unbox it this time around. Last year, I don't know if you can see it way back there, or this year actually, when I got the Resident Evil 3 remake, it was kind of just like, hey, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna play this. It is just my internet connection. I think it's my connection because for whatever reason, I don't know. Because it's happening on my iPad where I'm watching my playback too. Thankfully, we don't got too much longer before just going over to Twitch for the stream of Shadow of the Colossus. But um, it is interesting, so to say, when you're looking at how I'm going to do this going into the new year. Everything Resident Evil Resistance and everything Resident Evil 3, I am going to cover as best as I can. I actually am going, I don't want to move all this stuff, but I have a pretty beefy gaming laptop that I'm going to start carrying with me. And when I carry that with me, I'm probably going to get some form of like portable microphone that I can use. I could carry this everywhere if I wanted to find a case for it, but I don't really want to do that. So if I can find some kind of decent mic to use and bring it along with me everywhere, that would be much preferable because then if something happens and, while I'm at school, I can just bang out a video really quick, like really, really quick, and just port it over to this. Because the way I have it set now, I'm putting all of my gameplay videos on USB drives. So I have my gameplay that I can use for videos everywhere. So with that being done, it might be easier starting next semester to cover things. Because if, let's say it's 9:50 and I'm in the middle of, I don't know, a computer programming class, and it leaks out that, hey, Resident Evil 3 Remake is going to feature new costumes. Then at like 10:30 when I get out of that class, I can bang out a script real quick because I'll just write my script on my iPad, and then I'll read it out to the video, and then I'll put it over gameplay, put in what I need to do. 15, 20 minutes later, the video is done, and it's out on YouTube, ready to go, scheduled for 4 p.m. Or maybe if it's super, super important, it'll go out like as is, like boom, boom, boom. I don't know how exactly it's going to work out, but I do know there will be a lot of covering stuff significantly quicker. I have some new ideas as well for Jack and Daxter stuff. I don't know though, because it's been so long since I've made Jack and Daxter videos. The only ones I make nowadays are like when it's December and it's like, hey, I wonder if we'll see this game in the new year. Hey, will this happen? Hey, I wonder what's going on now. It's very rare to be able to have like a full-fledged Jack video. Maybe I'll start like some kind of nostalgia play or something like that, and it's just me playing through old games like nostalgia reasons. I don't know. That is probably more likely than I making like theories and all that again. I don't know. Now the live stream is going better. That's good. That's good. I hate candy sometimes, like chewy candy, because it's like you try to like suck on it just for the flavor, and then it's like boom, 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 boom. It's just going everywhere in your mouth. There is one thing that I want to do, like really, really big for Resident Evil. So, do you remember? Just needed to reload the page. Oh, okay. Do you remember a couple years ago, or actually probably early 2018, I was doing the Legends of Cancellation stuff, and because of the Legends of Cancellation, I was taking games that was canceled and doing heavy, in-depth like docs of it. I kind of want to do that for Resident Evil. There are many, many, many canceled Resident Evil games. And now that my channel has kind of taken a focus on Resident Evil, Legends of Cancellation for Resident Evil, that could be one big documentary a year, or one big documentary a month, for a couple months. And then, of course, I could handle Dino Crisis directly after that, because Dino Crisis has become a prevalent rumor. I don't know what exactly got it started. I know people were discussing in the background that, hey, Dino Crisis could be coming. Maybe you should be on the lookout for it. But I don't know where that actually got started at. I do know a lot of people do want a Dino Crisis remake. And there is no way Capcom does not hear that happen. I would really like to see Capcom go ahead and finish out Resident Evil 3 remake. Maybe remake Code, because Dino Crisis 1 and 2 were very good games. But just like Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 1 remake, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, and Resident Evil 0, none of those games aged very good. All of those games are near unplayable by today's standards. Nobody alive that isn't like us will be able to enjoy them. I like Resident Evil 0. I don't like the first three or the remake to 1 just because they're so hard to play. I like the remakes to them and the reimaginings, but they're just so hard to play. And now, I am 22 years old. A lot of us are now in the older side of the Resident Evil fan base. The majority of Resident Evil players now are going to be between the age of like 20 at the oldest and like probably 12, 13 at the youngest. They're not going to get into Resident Evil 0. They're not going to get into Dino Crisis. They're not going to get into Resident Evil 1 Remake or the original games on PlayStation 1. Like, it's just not something that's going to happen. So to keep these games alive and relevant, they're going to need to remake them. They're going to need to make adjustments and just fix it overall. Like, you can't say that that would not be better. Look at Shadow of the Colossus, which, as I was saying, I'm going to stream on Twitch when as soon as I'm done with this. Shadow of the Colossus is a great game. Shadow of the Colossus was a beautiful game for its, but it did work out fine in the end because the remake kind of brought life back into it. Same with Medieval and Crash Bandicoot and the Spyro games. These are all great games, but because they didn't age so hot, they didn't do so well with newer and younger generations of gamers. Like, think about it. Next year starts 2020. It's not out of the ordinary to think that there's going to be kids, babies, like babies of today, that are going to discover this stuff and want to play the old ones, but they can't because those games are unplayable. Like, they are really unplayable. So, think about this. The 13-year-olds in a couple years would have been born in like 2007, 2008. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. And that shows how, one, how old we're getting, and two, that's crazy. So those 13-year-olds, they're not going to be able to enjoy the PlayStation 1 games. They need these remakes. They need every remake for everything that can come out. Now, not only that, but these kids, they're going to want to see a lot of these games in the way they were when they, came out. So a lot of them may actually enjoy the old ways. Most of them definitely won't. Most of them will hate the old ways more than anything. But a lot of people will still want to play the old ones. Not as many as will play the remakes, but a lot of people will still enjoy that stuff. I do think it's kind of odd when you look at it as a full spectrum thing. Like, dang, the people who are going to be the young people in a couple years. I mean, we're still going to be there too, but the young people, like the teenagers, like, yo, they were in diapers when like Resident Evil 6 was coming out. They were in like their mother's like or their father's, when Resident Evil 5 came out. Like, time is getting weird. Things are progressing. We're getting older. We have a lot to look forward to with these remakes and these new games coming out. But at the same time, it's just, dang, we're getting old. I really hope all these games get remade, and remakes are pretty prevalent for Capcom. You know what needs to be remade though? Like hardcore when it comes to Resident Evil? These movies. The Resident Evil CGI collection needs to be remade. Like, okay, they don't need to be completely remade. Degeneration is good. Damnation is good. Vendetta. Vendetta is really weird. Resident Evil Vendetta is really weird. I would like to see a remake for it. I don't know if there's going to be, but I would like to see a remake. And the games aren't the only things that are getting remakes. Like, the movies to the live action, they're getting complete reboots. And not only that, but because of the success of Resident Evil 2 remake, oh my god, if I can even get it back in, Netflix is covering and actually got the license to make a Resident Evil TV show. So that is going to be really cool. I do wonder though, how is the Resident Evil show going to work out? Like, is it just going to be like a retelling of the games but in television form? I don't know. It would be cool to see that. It would also be cool if it's like a straight like original programming. Like, we know a lot about Leon Kennedy, we know a lot about Jill, Chris, Rebecca, Shiva, all of them. But what we don't really know too much about is what it was like to be an Umbrella employee. It would be really cool to see everything like start the game or the movie or the TV show, I mean, in like 1995, 1996, and show the development of the viruses and have the viruses be progressing throughout the television show up until the first game, or Resident Evil 0, I guess, chronologically, and just let everything go haywire, let everything go crazy. That would be really cool and really interesting for a Resident Evil show. But I mean, it is probably way more likely that they'll just do a Resident Evil show in the style of like The Walking Dead, or it's just gonna be like Resident Evil 1 or 2 retold via television. If it's something completely original, that would be cool, but weird. It would be weird. I do want them to kind of stick to the game as a middle ground, I guess you could say, and at least just have that go well. Resident Evil show could be a mix between the Castlevania Netflix series and the Walking Dead series. That is a very good idea. That is true, actually, because we don't even know if it's going to be animated yet. We don't know if it's going to be animated or live action. It would be cool animated actually. It would be nice to see the Resident Evil show, be told in the style of an anime. That would be interesting. We haven't really seen that too much with a lot of games. Most games just kind of when they get shows or movies, they're just straight live action. But an anime or an animated Resident Evil, that's not something I've thought about before. But that would be really, really cool. I do think it's cool looking forward to a lot of this stuff because there's a lot of upcoming Resident Evil and Dino Crisis and Capcom stuff in general, and Game Awards, of course, to look up for. There's a lot that's about to be coming out over the next couple of weeks, over the next month or so, that we are going to have a lot to look forward to. There's going to be so much content to talk about, whether we're talking about in Discord chats, link in the description, or we're talking about in live streams like this on Sundays, or daily Twitch streams over there on Twitch, or over there on Twitch, depending on what I'm playing. Most times over there because it's console, but it's just a lot to look forward to. But with that being said, this has been going on for about 35 minutes, this little Sunday discussion. I am going to end this here, and we're going to continue over on Twitch while playing Shadow of the Colossus. Link in the description or twitch.tv/Cruzando10. So I will see you over there. Any of you who show up in about 5 to 10 minutes ish, and I will see you on Twitch. I should have more videos, like regular videos, coming out this week. I do have 2 scheduled, so do be looking on the lookout for that. And of course, we got some news to deal with on Tuesday morning. So Tuesday morning, I'm probably gonna live stream the state of play on YouTube, so that it's a little bit less tricky to deal with than it is on Twitch. So we will stream that. And Thursday night, I don't know if I'm goes on the state of play, and it also depends on how my internet is doing that day. So we'll have to see how it all plays out. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen of the interweb, I hope you enjoyed our Sunday discussion. I've enjoyed our Sunday discussion. And with that being said, try not to die. If you enjoyed this and you're watching it later as a video instead of a stream, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you have not already. And until next time, try not to die. I messed that up, but it's okay. I'll see you on Twitch. How do you end on an iPhone? Okay. This is going to be a learning experience. Oh, there